Texas Tech leaders have announced the university's plans regarding COVID-19 guidelines ahead of this week's statewide changes. Coming up, we'll let you know if the students continue to keep their masks up and stay apart this spring.
Students at Texas Tech have access to dozens of free services and resources right here on campus, but many don't even know what they are paying for with their tuition. Find out how one university department is using a biannual event to help students learn what's available to them next.
And the United Supermarkets Arena is feeling a bit empty this week after both men's and women's basketball teams wrapped up their regular seasons last week. But there's still more action ahead with March Madness just around the corner. We'll let you know who each team will be facing in their first postseason matchups in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Austin Seat.
And I'm Danielle Salazar.
Last week, Governor Greg Abbott made a huge announcement essentially ending state-mandated COVID-19 restrictions in Texas. And on Friday, Texas Tech University administrators made a final decision regarding safety guidelines here on campus. On Friday morning, TTU President Lawrence Skuvanek sent out a memo to the campus community notifying students, faculty, and staff that most COVID-19 guidelines would be continuing here on campus. Most notably, the memo stated that masks would continue to be required inside university classrooms and indoor facilities through the remainder of the spring semester. Skuvanek also stated that Texas Tech will also continue to maintain social distancing guidelines, including occupancy limitations in public areas such as classrooms, conference rooms, and other meeting areas. But one change that is being made to the university's current policies is that masks will not be required in outdoor public spaces. Also, the athletic department will be releasing their own set of changes to current guidelines, which may include increased occupancy limits in athletic venues. Friday's university-wide announcement came in the wake of a special emergency Senate meeting held by the Student Government Association on Thursday night. During that meeting, the SGA proposed and debated a resolution that would recommend that mask and social distancing continue on campus until a vaccine is fully available to the general public. After a lengthy discussion, the resolution was passed with 61% of the vote. Thursday's meeting showcased a difference in opinions among the SGA in regard to the current campus COVID-19 guidelines, but Sergeant-at-Arms Max Raymond says the discussion was an important part of the legislative process.
This was one of the best Senate meetings we've had since I've been here, just because everyone really got into it and was able to let their opinions be known, and that's what this body is really all about, is just allowing people to express their opinions and the differences in them.
SGA's resolution played an important role in the university's decision to continue current coronavirus safety guidelines. However, unlike the campus announcement, the SGA proposal included the continued use of masks in outdoor spaces, and there was no set timeline for when the guidelines would end. Texas's statewide mask mandate ends this Wednesday.
The university's decision to continue current COVID-19 guidelines inside campus buildings was based on several factors, including recent improvements on the pandemic in the local Lubbock area. Part of that improvement can be credited to the social distancing and mask use, which are also both still highly recommended by the Centers for Disease Control and many medical professionals. And according to Dr. David Edwards, medical director at Student Health Services, students still need to make safety protocols to avoid possible long-lasting effects caused by COVID-19.
It's a matter of personal health and wellness and safety, not only for the individual student, but also for his or her colleagues, friends, family members, coworkers. What we're seeing more and more in the research is the presence of prolonged symptoms. And so a recent study suggests that 1 in 3 young adults who had mild COVID disease have persistent symptoms months later.
Edwards stated that for the most part there will be few changes in guidelines here on campus. However, with students experiencing less restrictions off campus, it is important to continue to take precautions during the pandemic.
In other news, one campus facility that has been continuously offering fun and free options for students is the University Rec Center. But for one day only, the Rec narrowed down its programming for a special group of students. Women's Night at the Rec took place last Friday from 8 to 10 p.m. at the Rec Center. The event featured fitness and educational classes tailored to women, along with the chance to experience stand-up paddleboarding. Throughout the night, attendees also had the chance to pick up some free rec center swag and enter for the chance to win door prizes.
It's important to have events like this because it shows women empowerment on campus and helps support older females on campus, especially in times like this when equality is so important. We really just want to show that we care for everyone on our campus, no matter who you are, and that's why Women Unite to celebrate both men and women.
Friday's Women's Night at the Rec was open to anyone in the TTU community who identifies as a woman. A similar event is also held each spring specifically for men, with this year's Men's Night happening this Friday starting at 8 p.m. For more information on the Texas Tech Rec Center, visit recsports.ttu.edu.
Texas Tech offers a lot of free and useful resources for students right here on campus, but many students often don't know what all the university provides with the cost of tuition. To help educate students on those options, the Office of Transition and Engagement hosted the spring edition of the Texas Tech Expo at the Fraser Alumni Pavilion starting at 11 a.m. on Thursday. Members of the tech community could stop by and visit with representatives from groups across campus. Students had the chance to learn everything from financial aid to health and wellness to student activities. Attendants also had a chance to pick up some free giveaways, including a free t-shirt. Wednesday's Tech Expo also marked an important moment here on campus as it was one of the largest indoor events open to all students since the campus reopened in the fall. But even indoors, event staff were taking steps to keep everyone safe.
So we've got every student taking a health screening form before they come in, just to be able to track that information. All of our departments have the gloves to be able to pass out to be able to hand over materials. There are also temperature checks and COVID screenings before then, and then we've also implemented signs and sanitization stations throughout the entire event.
The Texas Tech Expo is held twice a year during the fall and the spring semesters. The event usually takes place inside the hub, but has had to look into other options during the pandemic. The fall event took place outside the sub, and last week was the first time the event had been held at the Fraser Alumni Pavilion.
The South Plains area has been experiencing a roller coaster of temperatures over the last couple of weeks, and it appears that this week may be no exception. Over the weekend, high temperatures stayed in the 50s and 60s, but it looks like even warmer temperatures are on the way. So how warm could it get? MCTV's Madison Hartin joins us in studio with the latest look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, Austin. Well, good news, Texas Tech. At least for the foreseeable week, I don't think that we're going to be seeing any freezing temperatures, even as we start to move into the evening. I think that the colder temperatures of Snowmageddon a few years ago might be finally behind us, and we might finally be seeing some consistently warm spring-like conditions here on the South Plains. But along with spring-like conditions and warm temperatures comes a lot of wind here on the South Plains. For today, we had sunny skies or partly cloudy skies with a high of 74 degrees and a wind coming from the south at 20 to 30 miles per hour with higher wind gusts possible. For this evening, the wind is going to dissipate a little bit, but it's still going to be fairly gusty outside, coming from the south at 15 to 25 miles per hour with a low of 50 degrees. That's going to be pretty consistent over the South Plains as a whole. We're going to be seeing temperatures drop back down into the 50s and up in the 40s with windy conditions permitting overnight. We can see that out there to the northwest of us, we're out at Dimon and Muleshoe is where we're going to be seeing some of our coolest temperatures here on the South Plains, with it dropping all the way down into the lower 40s. But I think we'll all take lower 40s and windy over snowy conditions like we had a few weeks ago. Looking into tomorrow, however, we are going to be seeing temperatures climb back up into the upper 70s with fairly warm conditions. And then for tomorrow night, we're going to be seeing temperatures drop back down into the 50s. So pretty consistently, this is going to be our pattern for the next few days. And it's going to be nice because we're not going to be seeing any freezing temperatures. Bringing it back into Lubbock locally, we can see that for Tuesday we have a high of 78, a low of 53, and a southwesterly wind coming at 20 to 30 miles per hour. So for this week, along with our warmer temperatures, we are going to be seeing a lot of gusty wind come through the area. For Wednesday, we have a high of 81, so we're actually going to be breaking 80 for the first time that day, with a low of 48 and a southwesterly wind coming at 25 to 30 35 miles per hour. So again, sunny and windy. For Thursday, the winds are going to be dissipating a little bit, but it's still going to be a little bit breezy out there with winds coming from the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour, high of 78 and low of 52. So that is going to be pretty consistent over the next couple days. We're going to be having a good mix of sun and clouds, but we are also going to be seeing some higher temperatures and of course all that wind on the South Plains. And of course, when it is windy in Lubbock, the air can get a little bit dusty. But I think we'll all can agree that it's going to be nice to finally be feeling some spring-like conditions here on the South Plains. For MCTV Weather, I'm Madison Hartin. Back to you, Austin.
Thanks, Madison. The Texas Tech men's basketball team officially ended regular season play last night as they headed to Waco to take on Baylor in a top 25 showdown. Tech entered Sunday's contest as the number 18 ranked team in the nation, with Baylor holding on to a number 3 ranking after only losing once this season. The Red Raiders were hoping to hand the Bears another loss and extend their win streak to 4 games, but Baylor had other plans, dropping Tech 88-73. Tech went into halftime only trailing by 2 points, but in the second half, Baylor came out strong and never gave up the lead. At one point, the Bears even led by as many as 22 points before Tech crawled back to within 15 to end the game. Junior Kyler Edwards, who had been on a hot streak, led the team with 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kevin McCullough and Terrence Shannon Jr. both had 11 points on the night, but the rest of the team was kept mostly quiet, contributing to the loss. Even with last night's loss, Tech's previous 3-game winning streak was enough to allow the team to earn a first-round bye in this week's Big 12 tournament. That gives the team an extra day of rest and preparation before they face off against number 13 ranked Texas on Thursday in Kansas City. Thursday's rematch comes after a recent win against the Longhorns on Saturday, February 27th here at the USA. Tech versus Texas is scheduled for Thursday at 8:30 p.m. with TV coverage to be announced later this week. Over on the women's side, the Lady Raiders will also start their run in the Big 12 tournament this week in Kansas City. Tech will meet up with Kansas State on Thursday at 8 p.m. in the Municipal Auditorium. Tip-off for Thursday is set for 8 p.m. and you can watch that game on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
With basketball headed to the postseason, regular season, team action is now on the shoulders of Tech's outdoor sports, and there's one nationally known team who made some waves as they enjoyed another winning weekend on the diamond. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Texas Tech baseball team took on a trio of home state competition in the Shriners Hospitals for Children College Classic. On Friday, the Red Raiders met up with Texas State at Minute Maid Park in Houston. The Bobcats offered some early competition, tying up things in the 4th inning and even taking the lead in the 6th, before the Red Raiders' bats came to life and sealed the victory with a final score of 8-4. Up next, Sam Houston State was on deck for Tech's Saturday game in the weekend exhibition. Tech once again scored 8 runs but was able to shut out the Cougars through 9 innings of play. Redshirt senior Patrick Monteverde pitched 7 innings, giving up only 3 runs to bring his win total with the Red Raiders to 2. Then on Sunday, Tech finished up the weekend with a matchup against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. The Islanders offered the Red Raiders their toughest competition of the last 2 weeks, earning 3 runs of 7 hits in a close contest. But Tech broke a 1-1 tie in the 7th inning with 3-run double by Jace Young, which was just enough for the Red Raiders to secure the victory, 4-3. Tech baseball continues this week with the midweek series against Gonzaga at Danlaw Field. This week's action starts with a 6:30 first pitch tomorrow, followed by a 1 p.m. start on Wednesday. Both games will be televised on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. So Austin, did you have a chance to catch your Red Raiders on the court or the diamond last week?
I did not catch them on the diamond, but I did catch them on the court, and they looked like they were doing very well as a team, and I can't wait for their matchup against Texas.
Well, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.